Elon Musk, the billionaire who's either determined to colonize Mars or just really wants to escape Earth before it gets too crowded. You never really know with him. The guy has a flair for the extravagant, and honestly it's kind of entertaining to watch. Remember that time he almost paid off to end world hunger? Good times. Or when he casually dropped $44 billion to buy Twitter, because apparently owning a social media platform is the ultimate flex these days. One thing's for sure, Elon's got cash, and he's not afraid to flex it. By the way, if you like videos like this and would love to see more like it, then go ahead and give us a like and subscribe below. With companies like Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and The Boring Company, it's no surprise that Elon Musk has a fortune to burn. After all, not all of us can claim a $303 billion net worth. Lucky guy, right? And rumors say he started early, like 12 years old early. While we were struggling with multiplication tables, Musk was already building computer games. Turns out that early start paid off big time. Now the guy's rolling in cash, with enough to spare for some seriously lavish stuff. From electric supercars to private jets, here's a peek at the ridiculously expensive things Musk owns. Here's the thing, many billionaires own a private jet. Sure, it's an expensive flex, but they usually find one and settle for it. Not Elon Musk, oh no. The man said, why have one when you can have 5? First up is the Boeing 737. Not just any 737 though. This one used to belong to Air China, because why fly commercial when you can own commercial? SpaceX reportedly snagged this jet, making it clear Elon doesn't do anything small. For us, it's like buying a used car, but instead of a Honda Civic, you get a jumbo jet. Next, let's talk about Gulfstream G550s. Plural. Yes, Musk owns 2 of these beauties. Why? Because one G550 is for mere mortals, but 2? That's billionaire energy. These jets are popular with high-flying corporations, but Musk made them his own in 2020 and 2021, acquiring them from Wells Fargo and Contrail Aviation LLC. A pre-owned G550 typically costs up to $14 million, but rumor has it, Musk threw down as much as $100 million for his pair. What can we say? When Elon buys, he buys. When Gulfstream rolled out the G650ER, it was a game changer. At $64.5 million, it was out of most people's leagues, but the waiting list stretched for 3 years. Why the hype? This jet can fly a jaw-dropping 7,500 nautical miles, or 8,600 miles, without refueling. That means non-stop trips from New Jersey to Hong Kong? No problem. Naturally, Elon had to have one. Who wants to deal with layovers when you're busy conquering space? And finally, we have the Gulfstream G700, the crown jewel of Elon's collection. This bad boy set him back $78 million. And while we peasants might be raising an eyebrow at that price tag, to Elon it's probably worth every penny. If the man is splurging this much on jets, you best believe he has a home or homes to match. And we know Elon never disappoints. At one point, he owned a whole neighborhood's worth of mansions in LA, 6 homes in total. Talk about trying to put Airbnb out of business. But let's start with the big one, a 16,251 square foot mansion in Bel Air that could have doubled as a French chateau. This place was massive, with 6 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, a 2-story library, a wine cellar, tennis court, pool, and a home theater. Musk first dipped his toes into Bel Air back in 2012 when he bought the mansion for $17 million, although he initially rented it starting in 2010. The house overlooked the Bel Air Country Club, so I guess you could say he had a $1 million view. Eventually, Musk made good on his pledge to sell all of his properties, and sold it for a cool $29 million in 2020. That's about $28.9 million more than most of us have in our bank accounts, just saying. Next up, the Gene Wilder House, a charming little gym with 2,800 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and enough Hollywood history to make film buffs swoon. If you're still confused, we're talking about the Willy Wonka house. A year later, Musk tweeted that he was selling it, but with one condition: the house couldn't be torn down or lose its soul. I mean, that's really an Elon thing to say. He sold it back to Wilder's family for $7 million. Now let's talk about Bel Air, where Musk basically bought up the whole neighborhood like he was playing SimCity. 4 of his properties were clustered together, 3 on the same road. One was a 7,000 square foot house built in 1954. Another was a cozy little ranch. The third was an unfinished contemporary, a DIY enthusiast's dream, or nightmare. And the fourth was a white brick colonial. Instead of selling them piece by piece, the man bundled them all up into a real estate combo pack and sold the lot for $62.5 million to a developer. The buyer apparently was planning to turn them into one mega mansion because apparently normal mansions just don't cut it in Bel Air. Finally, we head up to Silicon Valley for the grand finale. This 16,000 square foot Mediterranean-style estate had 7 bedrooms, 9.5 bathrooms. What's with the half-bath obsession? A leather-walled library, and even its own reservoir. Yes, a reservoir. Because sometimes you just need your own private body of water. Oh, and let's not forget the ballroom with 20-foot ceilings and gold leaf crown moldings. Musk sold this masterpiece for $40.8 million in 2021, which probably covered 1 or 2 SpaceX launches. So after parting with most of his houses, where does Elon live now? Apparently the guy who can afford to live anywhere on the planet now prefers a tiny home that costs just $50,000.
One of the world's richest men doesn't live the way you might think. He tweeted that he sold most of his property in California and primarily lives in a $50,000 tiny home.
This crib is in Boca Chica, Texas, conveniently close to SpaceX headquarters, because why waste time commuting when you're busy colonizing Mars? The pad is a foldable 20 by 20 foot prefab home made by Boxable, a housing startup. Picture a giant IKEA project, but with fewer screws to loose. Dubbed the Boxable Casita, it's set up like a cozy studio apartment with one big room that doubles as a living and sleeping area, plus a fully stocked kitchen and bathroom with a tub shower. So yeah, even billionaires need their bubble baths. Before Musk even officially confirmed he's living there, Boxable dropped a not-so-subtle hint in a promo video, saying one of their casitas was installed for a top-secret customer. Top secret? Come on guys, it's either Elon or Batman, and Batman isn't moving to Texas anytime soon. Jokes aside, it's kind of hilarious to think that the guy launching multi-billion-dollar rockets into space spends his downtime in a house smaller than most people's garages. Maybe he just likes keeping his commute short, and his living quarters even shorter? Makes me wonder where he's parking his cars, because this guy has quite a number of big wheels. Naturally, Elon owns a lot of Teslas, probably all of them if we're being honest. But let's skip the obvious and dive into his other cars. Because as it turns out, Elon's got a soft spot for vehicles that don't run on batteries. First up, the Ford Model T. If Teslas are the tech wizards of the car world, the Model T is like their great-grandpa who walked uphill both ways to school. This gas-powered classic helped put the world on wheels, even if it wobbled a lot while doing so. Elon snagged his 1920 Model T for $25,000. Not bad considering it's basically a tin can on wheels, but hey, historic tin can. Then there's the 1967 Jaguar E-Type. Why does Elon own one? Honestly, who knows why Elon does anything? Maybe it's the swoopy lines, or maybe he just needed an excuse to say I own a Jag at dinner parties. And now let's talk Bond. James Bond. Elon is such a fan that he bought the famous 1976 Lotus Esprit from The Spy Who Loved Me. Yes, the one that could go underwater in the movie. It's the kind of car most people expect villains to own, which feels fitting given how often Elon gets compared to one. He bought it from a couple who found it abandoned for $1 million. And while it hasn't inspired an underwater Tesla yet, we're not ruling out a future model sub. Of course, no Musk car collection would be complete without the legendary McLaren F1. He bought this beauty for a cool $1 million. That one he crashed because, well, of course he did. When you're Elon Musk, totaling a $1 million car is just part of the story. But Elon wasn't always rolling in luxury rides. His first car was a 1978 BMW 320i. Not exactly a head-turner, but it's now considered a modern classic. Back then, it was more of a drive it till it dies situation. Modesty? Maybe. Don't tell me you believed it for a second. More like he hadn't hit billionaire status yet. He's also got some newer toys in the garage, like a 2010 Audi Q7 and a 2021 Porsche 911 Turbo. Because sometimes you just need a reliable SUV and a turbocharged speed demon. Balance is key, right? Let's be real. Talking about Elon Musk's spending habits wouldn't be complete without mentioning his marital roller coaster. The guy's been to the altar 3 times, and let's just say he's probably got a frequent flyer card for the divorce court. First is his college sweetheart, Justine Wilson, later Justine Musk, who became wife number 1. Then he tied the knot with actress Tallulah Riley, not once, but twice. Yep, they divorced in 2012, then thought, hey, let's give it another shot. Hit the Control Z button on that decision and remarried in 2013. By 2016, though, they were back to, nah, we were right the first time, and parted ways. Now, how much did all these trips to the altar and away from it cost him? Oh, just a little chunk of change. For wife number 1, Justine, Elon reportedly shelled out $6 million in cash, a 10% stake in Tesla, their Bel Air mansion, and a $200,000 Tesla Roadster. Hey, at least she got a sweet ride out of it. Tallulah didn't do too badly either. $4 million after divorce number 1 and a whopping $16 million after divorce number 2. You've got to wonder if at some point Elon thought it was cheaper to just stay single. But even all these have absolutely nothing on Elon's biggest purchase. You know how we all deal with social media problems? Monday, it's bots sliding into your DMs. Tuesday, you're hit with a shadow ban and watch your views drop. What can you do though? Mostly just scream and log off. Or, just buy the entire thing if you're Musk. Apparently the billionaire woke up one day and decided he was at the end of his fuse with all the things he hated about Twitter. So he casually dropped $44 billion to acquire it. Okay, fine, not casually. But you really got to wonder. And word on the street is that he overpaid by more than $15 million. So is this a bold investment in the future or just a midlife crisis buyout? Man, the jury is still out on that one.